Okay, so this is going to be a video on advanced stash management. I don't recommend this video if you haven't finished your expedition or if you don't have a lot of money. If you don't have your workstations done or if you don't have your scrappy to level 4, you have to do all that stuff first before even doing anything like this. If you don't do all that stuff first, you're going to struggle. The game is just so much easier with your workstations at level 3, with all your blueprints found and a lot of money. Right now I have actually a low amount of money. I had about 5 million like a week and a half ago, but I've just been running through it like crazy. All right, so getting into the guns. Right now I'm only using Venator because I play like about 98% solos. Um, your augments, you do not want to have anything crafted, and I'll go over that later. You just make a lot, it makes more sense to have everything uncrafted and then craft it before your game. It is really redundant. It is a little boring, but that's the way Embark wants you to play the game. You're going to be able to hold a lot more by doing that, by keeping certain things uncrafted. Right now, I think I have too many Venators, but what I did was I cleaned out my gun parts and just made pure Venators. Everything has full attachments, full durability, almost all of them. Um, Trailblazers. Now, the reason you want to keep these in your stash is because you're going to be, if you're playing the game right, you're doing three things. You're killing Ark, land Ark. You're doing farming in friendly lobbies, and you're doing PvP. Um, these are going to be good against the bombardiers and the bastions. If you are in friendly lobbies, which the way to get into friendly lobbies is to not shoot anybody for about 30 to 45 minutes. You go out there, you purposely die with a naked loadout, nothing in your stash, nothing out, nothing at all. Uh, if you go out there and you purposely die a few times, about 4 to 5 times in a row, they'll put you in legitimate friendly lobbies. There won't be a single person shooting you. Everybody knows that they're friendly lobbies, and there's nobody talking to each other. They don't say don't shoot, nothing like that. It's just people running around farming and getting cleaning up the map as fast as they can, pretty much. If you use 3 to 4 of these, you can take out a bastion by yourself. Um, they are extremely overpowered against Landark, and Landark are going to be able to get you advanced mechanical components. They're going to be able to get you gun parts and arc circuitry. Search shield rechargers, you can have these in your stash if you choose to. These are going to be the best way to farm these is by killing the Bastion and Bombardier, like I just said. These are going to be really good to pair with regular shield chargers, and I'll go over a good loadout here after I explain the stash. Exodus modules. The best way to get these are going to be on the map Stella Montes at the assembly workshop. If you're the first one there, you can get 3 to 6 of these a game, every single game. And the reason you want to have these is you want to be able to craft snap hooks if you have that blueprint, Tempest, Bobcats, and Volcanos. And if you're a PvE player, you want to be able to craft hull crackers and things like that, patinas. Um, so Exodus modules, the reason they're also really good at keeping your stash and farm these is because you can go in here and recycle them into processors. Processors, you're going to need those for MK3s and for trigger nades. And it also gives you magnets for your Venators and for your MK2s. You still use tactical. Um, and another good reason to farm these is because you're going to be holding more processors this way. And you also get 6 free magnets. So each processors are going to be only able to hold 5 per stack. You can hold 6 per stack by doing this right here. Advanced electrical components. These are going to be for your hatch keys and your MK3s. If you recycle these, you also are going to be able to get electrical components, which are going to be good for your MK2 tacticals and your jolt mines, which are really good. I use jolt mines every single game. Advanced mechanical components, you're going to want to get, honestly, as many of these as you can fit in your stash. Now, the reason for that is you're going to be upgrading all your blue and pink epic guns. In my case, it's the Venator. And then also, this allows you to not need to have springs in your stash at all, because all you're going to have to do is just recycle 3 of these, and you get a full stack of 15, plus mechanical components. And these are used for everything in the game. Antiseptics. So these, I am a firm believer that these, you're going to need a lot of these, and you're going to be able to farm these by going and getting Mullen. Mullen can be found on Spaceport on the north side, which I'll go over a little bit in detail later. These are going to be used for Vita Spray and Vita Shot. So you're definitely going to need the blueprint for that. If you have the blueprint, I recommend farming these. If you don't, then you can use herbal bandages. They're really easy to get. The reason I want to use this instead of herbal bandages is because those herbal bandages, every single game I'm killing players and I'm coming across 10 to 15 a game. So what I use is Vita Spray. Because Vita Shot, in my opinion, it's really, really hard to farm syringes. It's really easy to farm canisters and antiseptics, which you need for Vita Spray, which is the crazy part. It should be harder to farm Vita Spray, but it's harder to farm the Vita Shot. So if I had a good syringe farm, I would be going with the Vita Shot. But if I don't right now, so I'm going with Vita Spray. And also the good thing about Vita Spray is if you take 2 out a game and you're done with those, you do not want to repair those. You just want to recycle those to make more Vita sprays. Arc circuitry, you want to have a lot of these to be able to make power rods. Power rods are going to be able to make snap hooks. Also for your medium shields, which should be the only shield you should be running. If you like running light shield, that's fine. Heavy shield, that's okay. Explosive compounds, these are great to have for your trailblazer needs. You can use those for other things, but honestly, you should just be using them for trailblazers. Everything else is kind of not great. Medium gun parts, I use these for my Venator. I usually have more than this, but I'll just went in there and crafted all of them I can to clean up my stash. Really, as soon as you get this, you want to be able to upgrade your gun or make a new gun, just to be, to not really have too much of these in your stash. Ropes, keep every single rope you can get and use them on snap hooks. Do not use zip lines. If you like to use zip lines, that's fine, but I recommend recycling the zip lines every single raid and putting those in your safe pocket. Rope is by far the hardest thing to come across in the game, period. It's harder to get. It's easier to get springs, it's easier to get duct tape, it's easier to get any of these hard items in the game. Buy these off the traders every day and buy it off Celeste's, buy it off of Apollo, buy the zip lines and recycle them into rope. This is a low amount of rope for me. Usually I have like 40 to 50. If I'm doing that, I'm able to put my snap hook in my quick use and not safe pocket it every game. If I do see myself running low on rope, what I'll do is I'll start safe pocketing my snap hook and doing that swap thing, but honestly, you use it a lot more if it's just in your quick use, and you're able to outplay a lot of people doing that. It's the best item in the game. If you don't have the snap hook blueprint, find it. Sensors, these are really good. If you're walking out of every raid with 5 sensors a game, that's ideal because you're going to be making a hatch key. Well, you should be making a hatch key every game that uses 3. So if you farm 5 a game, you're pretty much fine. Now you're going to find yourself farming for this all the time or running low. Batteries, I should have more than this. This is actually really low for me right now. I run through these like crazy. I'm using a medium shield and 3 to 6 jolt mines a game, depending on the map. Um, Another ideal thing is to walk out with batteries and sensors every game. Canisters, these are going to be used for Vita spray and for smoke grenades. So again, these are much easier to find than syringes, which is why I do Vita spray. Smoke grenades, if you're running through 5 smoke grenades a game, this is going to be enough to get you through 6 to 8 hours of PvP without having to farm this. And then solos, unfortunately, there's not a lot of people running good kits. They're just fucking running around with free kits for some reason. I don't understand why people still play the game like that. Crude explosives, you're going to use these to make explosive compounds. You're also going to use these to craft trigger nades if you're still using those. Duct tape, you're going to want to keep 3 to 5 rows of these. I'm sorry, 3 to 5 slots. These are going to be used for grips. Duct tape is really, really hard to find in this game, so you're going to want to farm that on Dan Battlegrounds at the Research Administration building on the 2nd floor. You're going to want to buy these off Celeste every single day. Do not miss a day. Try to log in every day and buy those. Electrical components. These are going to be used for jolt mines for me and for tactical MK2s when I want to run those. Mechanical components. Usually I have 3 to 4 rows of this. This is going to be used for mod components for your guns. For barricade kits, I run 3 barricade kits a game, so I can go through these pretty quick. These are also going to be good if you're running Toro or any other gun, Stitcher, um, Anvil, stuff like that. Simple gun parts. These should be crafted into whatever guns you're using. In my opinion, you should only use 2 to 4 guns. If you're using more guns than that, then you're going to be farming for too many things in the game, and that's just going to be too time consuming. So me, I'm farming everything into medium gun parts. I was using Toro and Venator, so I was doing heavy and medium. But I find myself killing Toro users and just taking their Toros and using them. 30, I have 30 to 40 usually at a time. Seeds. So you're gonna want at least 300 seeds a day, 3 to 400. Now, the reason you want all these seeds is if you have all these seeds, you don't need to have plastic, rubber, chemicals, or metal at all. You can just buy that when you want. In my case, I just use these for chemicals only. I use the chemicals towards smoke grenades and for crude explosives. And I'll go over why you don't need plastic, rubber, or metal in your stash at all in a moment. If you choose to blueprint farm like this and keep it for your next wipe, you can. That's only if you have a friend that's not doing an expedition that you'd like to give the blueprints to, and then he just gives them back to you. I chose to just keep certain items that I use and certain items that I think that are going to be good next season. Like I think Showstopper might be good one day, Volcano might be good one day, Bobcat. Um, these might be great one day. And then I have all my magazines, my compensators, my stocks, my muzzles ready for next season. So that pretty much covers the stash. So going into traders, Celeste, you should be buying the
Forgot
gun
something?
parts every day, in my opinion, if you have enough time to farm seeds. You buy these, recycle them into the parts that you need, like simple gun parts, and then from there you just recycle it into medium. Rope, buy this every single day. This is the hardest thing to find in the game. Buy your springs every day. And then this stuff is optional. The mullen, the oil, the duct tape, I would buy that every day as well. Canisters, everything else is a pretty good, easy farm. The reason you should not be buying, or the reason you should not be holding plastic, rubber, or metal is because you can farm electrical components immediately. As soon as you have these items, you should be making this right here, or this. That's the only thing your plastic, rubber, and metal should be going into. Um, Depends if you're using like stitchers, I guess you can, or crafting those. You can keep more items, or like the basic materials. Honestly, you should just be maxing out Scrappy and keeping them at 50 every single day. Um, and then another reason you don't want to be running metal is because if you have enough money, you can just go in here and buy this.
No such thing as too many guns.
I'm going to show an example of a loadout I run every day in a moment. Again, going to Apollo, you want to buy the rope every day and then
Just don't
recycle
touch
that
anything that's sticking.
into, I'm sorry, buy the zip line, recycle to rope. Another thing you can do, which I stopped doing because I started spending a lot of money, but if you have a couple million left over, you can start buying these every day, these, and these. And what you're going to want to do is recycle those into gun parts. That's pretty much covers the shop. I'm going to show an example of a loadout I'm running. Survivor, Venator, Surge. So if I don't have trigger nades, what I'm going to do is, I don't even need to do that, recycle one stack for 6 processors and 6 magnets. And the reason I'm showing this is because a lot of people have too much stuff crafted. You're going to want to keep a majority of things uncrafted, except for the items that take up too much space, which are, for me, it's going to be these items. They just take up way too much space in your stash if you don't craft them.
Forgot something?
Well, if it isn't my regular. A wise purchase, says me, the expert in staying alive.
Back for more?
Can I help you? Here's a good one. Raider.
Fabrication here. So, output requests must include specs. Make it awesome is not specific.
Please do not borrow some marked cars lying outside Timo's door.
Fabric scraps make these advantages, so don't waste them.